Hey there, welcome back to your consultant training. We're going to take a few minutes and we're going to talk about what to do with your list of people so that you can get your Prestige 3, 6, 10, 15 all booked, and being able to do that in a way that you can be a blessing to people. So one of the packages that you're going to see, it's called the Smile Process, and this is going to be two trainings from this same packet. This first training, I want to talk to you about how to get the initial bookings and be able to connect and create a relationship with people. And then the second training is once you get them booked, to be able to get that second appointment, getting referrals. So it's all going to be the same process. I'm just going to break it up into smaller bites. So anytime that you're ready to make a move in your business, there's a couple of things I always have people do. Number one is decide what success looks like. So you're going to decide on your Prestige consultant activity. Number two, you're going to take a look at your date book and you're going to decide when you want to hold your appointment so that you can say to somebody which is better for you, Thursday or Saturday night or Saturday morning, so that you already know your time slots, because it's very important that your definition of success matches the amount of activity that you're willing to work. Then the third thing you're going to do is make a list of people. And this is where we're going to start from today. And I am just a big believer that relationships start in a brick by brick fashion. Now, you and I know that it makes sense that the more people that you have around the table, obviously that's more people that can buy, that can book, that can join your team, that can give you referrals. Absolutely. But I do believe that in the initial booking, that it needs to be done in a process so that you're developing a relationship. So we talked about, for you, as you all that are new consultants listening to this, that whenever you're ready to get started, you're going to do what's called a power start, and that's booking 8 beauty sessions to hold 5 in a 2-week time period. It is how Mary Kay built this company. It's how I started my business. Every time I want to do a restart, that's where I start. But let's start, okay, so now we kind of know where we're going, but let's start with, okay, now you've got a list of people. What do you do with them? Well, I think the main thing that I want you to do is start thinking about in the terms of what we call a bless, book, by the way, be clear. And in fact, that's the name of this training, is bless, book, by the way, be clear. Because what I want you to do is I want you to think about how can your Mary Kay business be a blessing to others? Because when you're looking at somebody, can I book them? Can I sell to them? Can I recruit them? They feel it and you feel it and nobody feels good. Whenever you meet somebody, if your first thought is, oh my goodness, who could I connect them to? How could I be a blessing to them? How can I make them feel valued and appreciated? Then they feel that, then they feel good and you feel good. Even if they're not interested, then they still feel great, okay? So one of the things that we're going to talk about is how to be a blessing. So when you look at your list of people, I made a list here on this of 10 reasons why I kind of think about whenever I'm meeting somebody. And what I also want you to think about, that there's 2 paths that you can take whenever you're looking at setting up your appointments. 2 ways that you can be a blessing. One is what we call an experience. Okay, so an experience, whenever you get together with them, is going to be like a mother-daughter. Those are my favorites. I now have almost a 13-year-old granddaughter. And so, we're always looking, me and Samantha, our daughter, are always looking for ways to create experiences together. So those are always great. New brides are great. New moms are great. Somebody that is just in a season that they just need to be able to create something fun. Maybe somebody's lost a lot of weight and, you want to be able to create a fun experience for them. People that, are kind of looking at like family gatherings are also great. So that's kind of the experience kind of path that you would go with somebody. Those would be the words that you would use. The second path is what we call exposure. Now, we are not allowed, I know we're independent contractors, but we have to be very careful not to endorse somebody. So whenever I'm talking about, if I know somebody that's in a nonprofit or a ministry or owns a business or is an entrepreneur or, or just darn cute, right? We can't endorse them. In other words, we can't put their picture on social media and say, this is Mary and she's the best financial planner. Put your money with her, right? We can't do that. I say that because we used to do that a long time ago. And then, but what could happen is if you put your money with old girl and you lose money, guess what's going to happen? They're going to come back on you, and they could even come back on our company. So what we do is that we approach it from the term of exposing them on your social media network. Now, whether you like Snapchat, whether you like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, I happen to be an Instagram, Twitter, Facebook kind of person. I'm getting closer on this Snapchat thing, but so what the way that I do this is, like, let's say that I met somebody that runs a nonprofit. I have a brand new team member, April Midland, who's going to be no doubt a Pink Cadillac director. And, if she and I had met before Mary Kay, I would just say to her, oh my goodness, has anybody ever talked to you about getting some social media exposure through our Mary Kay network? And they're like, well, no, what are you talking about? And just say, well, all we do is get together for about 45 minutes to an hour. I put you in our Mary Kay products and get to know a little bit more about what you're doing. I'm going to take your after picture, and then I'll put it up, and I'll have it hit my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And I'll just say, and what I'll say, because I can't endorse you, is I'll say, hey, April is off rocking our red lipstick to take care of some puppies at the shelter. I don't even say which shelter. Okay, so that's the idea. And so that when people see that, if there happens to be somebody out there that just happened to be praying about that morning, oh my goodness, I would love to get involved with the shelter, or oh my goodness, I would love a puppy, then they can contact her because you're tagging her in the photo. Then people can seek her out for her services. So really what you are is a bridge between the people that you like and the people that you have in your network, right? So you can do that with anybody that's involved with a nonprofit, anybody who's got a business. Even if their husband has a business, you can say, Susie's off to go have lunch with her husband in between him showing houses or something like that. So you just put something on there where that kind of tweaks people's interest so that then they would go and seek that out. Again, we have every kind of religious preference in Mary Kay. I personally love to support ministry. So if there happens to be something in ministry, there's a big ministry something coming up, then I'm going to do the same thing. If I meet somebody that is just cute, I mean, like, they're just so cute. And I asked them, has anybody ever asked you to be a face model with Mary Kay? And these are people that I know and, or just kind of know. And then they're like, well, no, what does that mean? And I just say, we get together, we play in some makeup, I take your after picture, and that allows me to show how our products look on different faces and on different skin tones. And I'd be honored to spotlight you in my portfolio. And y'all, that's how I build. So I go that route with people. Now, if you have somebody that is very, very shy and they feel that they're too I hate to say unattractive, but let's say they would not feel comfortable with that. Then what I can do is just say, why don't we get together so I can find out a little bit more about what you're doing so that whenever I meet people, I could send them your way. So we would still do the networking part, but if they're uncomfortable having their picture, that's totally cool too. But the idea is, how do we use our Mary Kay business to be a blessing to other people? Because I'm telling y'all, there is nothing, and I mean nothing, hardly more exciting than to be able to have somebody that is working their tail off in their business or in their ministry, and they're just missing that one thing. And because you put them up on your social media, or you mention their name because you know about what they're doing, and then you were the catalyst to connect those people, and then all of a sudden this person feels fulfilled and this person is being blessed. Oh my gosh, y'all, that's how you're able to do Mary Kay for a lifetime. So whenever you're looking at your list of people, what I want you to do is I want you to write down anywhere between 1 and 3 reasons that getting together with you is going to be a blessing to them. It could just be pampering. It could be that they're a skincare guru and that they love to give their opinion. It could be somebody that's great with glamour that you could learn from. Like if you work with somebody like me, like obviously I put Mary Kay on with the shovel now. I didn't wear a lot in the beginning, but as I've gotten older, I need all the help I can get. But like if you met somebody like me, then to say something and I do this all the time. I'm just like, oh my gosh, you know what? Your makeup looks great. Hey, I'm with Mary Kay. I'm in a leadership program with Mary Kay. Is there any reason why we couldn't get together? Let me put out my products, and then you create this look with my product and teach me how. I'll even give you a gift. I would love to learn from you, right? Or somebody that's really good with skincare. Oh my gosh, would you try our product? and tell me what you like, what you don't like, and give me some insight. I would love to learn from you, because you know what? I'm telling you, I've gotten some of my greatest ideas, some of my greatest customers, some of my greatest friends just by doing that. Maybe you know somebody that's great with time management or money management. Oh my gosh, let's get together. I'd love to spotlight you, and then I'd love to hear about your time management tips that you think could help me with my business. I would love to learn from you, right? So again, how can people are looking for an audience? Honestly, aren't they? I mean, how many people, and maybe some of you all that are listening to this, that you have a great message, you have a great experience, you have a great skill, but you might not have a place to share it. So why couldn't we allow people to share it? Why couldn't we allow people to have that platform? Why couldn't we learn from them? And so again, whenever you're looking at booking people, it is, you want to really romance the appointment. I personally do not lead with product. I think that some people lead with product too much, and we're very salesy. I definitely don't lead with the company, because I don't even know if I want her on my team, right? And so here's the reason that we want to be able to have 2 or 3 reasons for them to get together with us. You'll hear me in my training, you'll hear me talk about adding value to them, okay? Adding value is because as a woman, right, we've got so much going on, right? We've got our family, we have our faith, we have our personal life, we have our job, we have our parents, we have our kids, we're like on this rack all the time. Well, you know what? When she originally says, yeah, I'd love to get together with you, she means it. She means it. And then, but as it gets closer, well, little Johnny stubs his toe, and her mom is sick, and her dad needs something, and she's got to pay the bills, and all of this. And the easiest thing to let go of is that Mary Kay appointment, because really that was just for fun and pampering, right? If that's all it was fun and pampering, that's not enough leverage to get her to come when life is hollering at her. If it is a case where y'all are going to get to exchange ideas and do networking, she's going to get some social media exposure, she's going to get to meet some new people for her network, or she's going to get to meet some other new moms. Like, in other words, there's so many reasons to get together. She's going to say, little Johnny, look, brother, I'm sorry you stubbed your toe, but too bad, I got to go, right? So the idea is that you're really romancing that appointment, and I'm going to talk about in a second how I, kind of keep that going. So when you're making this list, I want you to think of 2 or 3 reasons why getting together with you would be a blessing to her, and your director is going to help you through that. So that just kind of gives you some ideas to work with. Now, as soon as I get her to, as soon as I call her, and let's just use the exposure thing again. Hey, has anybody ever asked you about being exposed up on their social media network? I would be honored to spotlight you in my Women of Influence portfolio. And they're like, well, yeah, that sounds great. And then you pull out your date book, and you're like, great, which is better for you? Thursday night, Saturday morning. Saturday morning, great. 10, 11, which is better? 11. Okay, great. Your place or my place, if that is an option, right? There's been times where I couldn't do my place, but great. Then I'll head on over to your place. That will be wonderful. Around 10 o'clock. Okay. So now I've found a reason for her to be a blessing, for me to be a blessing to her. Number 2, we've agreed on a time. Now I'm going to go into step number 3, and this is all in the same conversation, right? Then I'm going to say, hey, by the way, who do you know of that could also use some social media exposure? I would love to be able to spotlight some of your girlfriends. They just have to be as fun and cute as you are. But do you know anybody in ministry or nonprofits that could use a little networking and a little social media exposure? Oh, Jenny and Mary, great. Why don't you check with them and see if they can come and hang out with us? If not, I can get together with them at a later date. And then, by the way, if I think of somebody that I think would be good for you to network with, do you mind if I bring them, right? So now the idea is that I booked her, and she's going to bring a friend, and I might even bring somebody else. So what I've done is I built a beauty session without ever saying, oh my gosh, I just started Mary Kay. Will you book a party for me? Oh my gosh, that is so rude. That is so selfish. That's like, this is all about me. I don't care about you, and I don't care about your life. People who run like that, they don't make it in Mary Kay. We have to be others focused. Okay. So I want you all to shift that into bless them. How are you going to be a blessing to them through this appointment? Not the product, not the company, just that hour or hour and a half that they're willing to give you. Then you agree on the booking. Then you say, by the way, then step number 4 is what we call be clear. And that is just say, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get together with you at 10 on Saturday, and I'll check to see if you have got some girlfriends, and I'll take a look and see who I could bring as well. And listen, what we do at these appointments is I go through skincare. We do a CC cream, which is just a real fast kind of dash out the door skincare. We'll do a dash out the door glamour look. I'll take your picture, tell you the Mary Kay story. Is that okay? Now what we've done is we are very clear in our expectations of we're not going to do 900 eyeshadows. We're not doing liners. We're not doing all that. And we have asked her permission to share the Mary Kay story with her, which we do in Why Wash Your Face with Mary Kay, and then also whenever we do the dreams part in the flip chart. Okay, so I think it is so important, so very important that she is clear of what's going to happen and that you have permission to share that. Because if not, then to me, it can be a little slimy, right? If she doesn't know that that's what's going to happen. It's what we call a bait and switch, right? You bait them with something and then you switch. Have you ever gone to lunch with somebody that you thought wanted to catch up with you and then they want to tell you their marketing plan? I mean, that is not how we work in Mary Kay. So that's why it is so important that we're very clear with that. So as soon as I get her booked, right, we've done Bless Book, by the way, be clear. And then the next thing that I do is as soon as I leave there, I send her a text. And I tell her, I'm going to send you a text with my website. If you want to go ahead and get registered, that will be great. And take a look at some of the colors so that we can figure out kind of which way we want to go with your dash out the door look. All right, so I send her a text. So excited to see you Saturday at 10 at your place. Can't wait to spotlight you or create experience, whatever it is that we say. And here's my website. Have fun. I'll send you a text in the next couple of days, maybe with some other ideas. Okay, so now what I've done is now I've got her kind of looking at my website, and I've told her I'm going to touch base with her in a couple of days. In a couple of days, I'm going to send her some product pictures. Do you like this lip color, this type of lip color, or this type of lip color? Do you like this kind of eye look or this kind of eye look? You can get those from your director. And then sometimes I'll just, like one of the texts is, I was just sitting here thinking about how excited I am to be with you on Saturday. I invited a couple of friends. Tell me what you're the most excited for. And I do all this via text. Because I can do it during the day. And so my idea is as soon as I book her, I'm going to send that out to her. And then I have what's called a spiral notebook. And it's just how I build my business. You can see that in the time management training. But as soon as I book her, every 2 days, her name comes up in my reminders to do some sort of touch. And so that way I can keep the excitement up. Okay. And then the day before, I'm going to do what's called pre-profiling, which I'm going to cover in the next training. So that's really what you're going to do to be able to get everybody booked. Bless, make your list. Bless, right? Because you've already got your date book highlighted. You already know how many faces you need to do. So you're going to find a reason to bless them. You're going to book her for a time. You're going to ask her, by the way, who would she like to bring? And by the way, I might bring somebody as well with your permission. And then you're going to be clear. You're going to send that text. And then every 2 days, you're going to touch her. Not, are you coming? Just things that you think that she might like to choose from. Okay. When you're doing that, I'm telling you, booking becomes a breeze because you get to be a blessing. Have a miracle-filled month. I can't wait to hear about all of your bookings.